every time the Steam sales roll around, I always get so excited because I feel like there are so many games that I want, and unfortunately, I forget that I'm not actually financially independent. But unfortunately, I am just one of those people that really loves a good sale. And I thought it would be fun to do a little roundup of all of the cozy games that are currently on sale because the holiday season is a bundle of chaos for me. So I thought it'd just be nice to chill out for a minute. Tiny Bookshop is just one of those games that really lets you imagine the what ifs. What if I too just decided to sell all of my belongings, get a little caravan, and spend my days traipsing around a seaside town? How can that possibly be bad? The people in this game kind of remind me of my old coworkers at the Barnes & Noble I used to work at. Everyone's a little quirky, some of them have weird offbeat humor, and everyone came from different walks of life, but we were all there united by our one true love, obviously books. You get to have control over your inventory, and I love the fact that you get to recommend books to your customers. Even better that they're all real titles, so I actually get to add some things here and there to my actual real life to be read pile. I also really enjoy decorating in this game. I want to make everything warm and cozy, and it's easy to build a place that I would actually want to hang out. I have ended my gaming sessions with hastily drawn plans over how I could easily recreate this tiny bookshop in my own life, even if it was like a tiny nook in the corner of my house. Or even, oh my gosh, a backyard nook would be perfect. If you too want to build your own tiny bookshop on wheels, I recommend you purchase it now because it is 20% off for the winter sale. Both of the PowerWash Simulator games are actually on sale, with the first one being a very nice 50% off and the second one actually being a nice 15% off, which is cool because that one actually came out recently, so I wasn't too sure if we would even get it on sale. Yes, I've recommended this game before, but I'm trying to cover all of the cozy-ish bases here. Sometimes you need to zone out and clean a skate park, or someone's home and backyard pond, or even your own van. Even better, you're actually earning money doing all of this, and you get to upgrade your equipment to be the most efficient version of yourself. And I like making those perfect clean lines as you go up and down whatever section you're working on. You can also play both of these games in co-op, which sometimes makes for a nice evening to try and relax after getting maybe a bit too heated after multiplayer games. I'm looking at you, Overwatch. Town to City is an increasingly popular city builder game, and it is not hard to see why. You're building an idyllic Mediterranean area up from humble roots to become a prosperous, bustling city. This game is currently in early access, but the devs are doing a very good job staying on top of all of the updates that they have planned, and they're also being very mindful of all of the feedback they get from their community, which is really nice. They actually did just release a little winter update as well, so you can get even more seasonal personality into your city. You can fulfill requests for your townsfolk. As the city grows and more people move in, even more things will begin to happen since your little townspeople have lives. You'll help them by assigning jobs, you get to watch their families grow, and you'll get to essentially build your city up into a busy commerce center. Whether you decide to play in story mode or sandbox mode, you are free to build things up at your own pace, so you can just really take your time with planning and customizing the lighting, the plants, the flowers, and of course the placement of buildings and winding streets. This is currently on a 15% discount for the winter sale. This is another game I've talked about before on this channel, but Winter Burrow is just so freaking cute that I feel like I had to include it. It's also like my perfect mixture of things in a game. Sometimes I really like just cozying up by the fire, knitting myself little sweaters, and then sometimes I like to go out and have an adventure. After all, you're on a mission to find your missing aunt, so that means we will have to brave the outside elements and the wildlife in order to solve this mystery. This is like an approachable survival game. You want to be mindful of your needs, but you can take this game at your own pace, which I like for a lightly engaging gaming session. Sometimes I don't want the stress of a full-on survival game, and sometimes I just like some time to relax by the fire. If you've been waiting to snag this one, now would be a good time to get it. This game is currently 20% off. I love a really good logic puzzle game that does not go out of its way to be insanely difficult, and in doing so make me feel a little bit dumb because that is not the greatest feeling in the world. The puzzles in Is This Seat Taken are just lighthearted logic puzzles as you work to place everyone in the best spot according to their preferences. Some of them don't like sitting in window seats on the bus, for example, or they don't like sitting next to smelly people, which I think is a perfectly reasonable request. or they just like being alone, like socially alone, also acceptable. That's what makes this game so perfect. All of these little shapes are completely relatable. Everyone has their own set of pet peeves to kind of sort through, and it's not actually just a puzzle game. There is a story here. We're following Nat on her journey to meet her hero. She's an aspiring actor who has never really found her place until one day she sees an actor who's just like her on the big screen. After all, we're all just looking for our own place in the world. I was scrolling for kind of what felt like forever, looking for things that seemed really interesting but that I actually hadn't heard of yet, and Canvas of Kings caught my eye for standing out among the just like onslaught of cozy games that I was looking through. It's not on a crazy sale, just 10%, but I thought this was a cool game because of the many applications that I think it could be used for. This is actually a map making tool that can be used to design different landscapes. It focuses on using auto-generated elements that are based on paths and areas that you set up. You can adjust these maps and the elements within at any time. There is even a built-in weather and lighting system to further customize the maps. It's currently in early access. The developer is working on another game and developed his own tools for it and was asked to share those tools, and so Canvas of Kings was born. You can export the maps for digital use, or you can print them if you want to, with or without grids. This would be so freaking helpful for setting up maps like for D&D campaigns or writing a story and just kind of getting all your planning out. I love it. It's very, very nice, and I think it has tons of applications, more so than just that. That is just about the limit of my creative endeavors. I'm not the biggest fan of visual novels, but every so often I will stumble upon one that looks interesting enough for me to give it a shot. Best Served Cold is 40% off for the winter sale, and it is a fun murder mystery where you are a bartender at a speakeasy. It's very cool and mysterious. The game is set in an alternate history version of Europe, so you basically get to become a detective over cocktails since you're working to unmask a killer and also save your bar. You have to know what your role should be based on who you're talking to. Should you make them laugh? Do you need to charm them? Or maybe you need to threaten them as you chat up patrons from every walk of life and every level of society. There's 20 different characters here, and any single one of them could be the killer. How are people connected? Is anyone actually completely innocent? Who knows? I don't know why. I really love detective mysteries. I blame many evenings spent watching Clue. This is another new game I found, and I really enjoy the art style for Near-Mage. It's really got a very nice blend of like vibrant and darker color palettes, but I think it melds them together very well. This is a narrative-heavy adventure game with some lighter role-playing elements. You play as Illy, a teenager who goes to visit her great-aunt in Transylvania. And with most teenagers, she is kind of at a crossroads in her life, really figuring out who she wants to become. Her aunt decides to drop the bombshell that she is in fact a witch, and because of that, she is actually able to enroll in a school of magic. You're able to choose your classes, and you also figure out how your use of power can affect the lives of those around you. I did say that there were role-playing elements in this game, so there are choices for you to make. Affecting the fates of characters, maybe getting different endings to questline, so this game does offer a good amount of replayability. What I really think is cool though is the developers are actually from Transylvania themselves. They're pulling on their own lore, legends, and superstitions to really bring this world to life, and I love learning about these things as I play. Near-Mage is 30% off during the sale. This game is currently 50% off for the winter sale. Kokoro Kitchen is a game that is very near and dear to my heart. They were actually my first partnered giveaway, and I love taking care of all the little spirits in my kitchen. You wake up, of course, in the spirit world, and no knowledge of how you got there, and now a pretty stern chicken is waking you up and telling you how to run a restaurant. You do get to customize your menu and purchase new ingredients in order to open up new options of food that you can make, so you can really decide how many things you want to make each day. If you feel overwhelmed with the amount of items on your menu or how many things you need to prep, dial it back. You are in full control here, and the spirits will still come. The devs also work meticulously on maintaining updates and even added a wonderful new feature in the form of a checklist. The story here is sweet and everyone is charming, and it's a perfect blend of restaurant simulator and Spirited Away. The art style in the garden path kind of reminds me of the artwork that you would see in old folktales. It has relatively muted tones with pockets of brightness, and it reminds me of like little old paintings, and I just love it so much. This one is another 50% off game, and it is perfect for when you just want to experience the simple joy of gardening. The garden path is a slice of life game where you are free to spend your time however you see fit, wandering the garden, doing chores, meeting friends. The game uses a mix of real-time and in-game time, with a year in the game only taking about 28 real-world days, but each day is a real 24 hours, so the world carries on even if you're not actively in-game. It's the kind of thing that you can easily pick up and like mosey around for a bit without feeling any sort of pressure, and there's even local co-op, so you and a friend can enjoy a very lovely soundtrack while you nurture your garden together. It's specifically designed with short play sessions in mind, so hopefully this will be a nice distraction for the holidays. The Steam Winter Sale is happening now and will continue until January 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure to check out the sale and see what you can grab. If you get anything off of this list, let me know, or if you find anything else that you think I should definitely check out, please also send them my way. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you all in the next video.